team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Whreck.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Vengeful spirits.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5.
Slaughter.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Weaver.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 10 10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Ah, come on.
Radiant team pick.
Yo, what's up? We're back for our second game of the 3-game set between Wheel and Midas. I'm Patreon. Thanks for joining me for another matchup
10
here.
seconds remaining.
And
5
well,
seconds
Midas
remaining.
Club, they pick up two heroes that they're definitely very familiar with. They're gonna get the Rubik and Weaver for themselves. These are heroes that they love to play, and they play quite a bit of. So we will see who is able to come up on top of this draft. Meanwhile, Wheel, they're gonna go with the purple lineup of Slardar, Darkseer, and Vengeful Spirit. So they go with the two supports first, and then the Darkseer in the off-lane position. Should work pretty well for them. But I think that start from Midas Club is definitely one to be afraid of, because when Midas Club are able to get their heroes, they're definitely a team to be trifled with. So we are going to be also seeing a Batrider from Midas Club. Taking a look at our bans, the Omninet will be banned away by Wheel, and same with the Ember and Abyssal Underworld. Interesting that they would spend a ban first onto the Ember. I mean, we've seen that when Midas Club don't really get their heroes, they're not so great of a team. They're getting pretty much all of them right now. We will get the Gyrocopter again, and should be able to work this combo a little bit better with the Darkseer. I really do like when the Gyrocopter does get an Aghanim Scepter. I think there's just a huge amount of damage that they can do with it.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So, Wheel, they get a lineup that they seem pretty happy with again. And Midas Club, they are getting a lot of their heroes as well, so we can see these teams play with heroes that they're very comfortable on. It should be a pretty fun game to watch. We'll do have quite a bit of Midas armor that they have access to, but Midas Club can decrease it pretty well in addition to that. So we'll see which one is going to prevail here. I honestly think that Wheel, with the Darkseer, should be able to work this out pretty well. And with the supposed ping issues that Midas Club were having in game number 1, just having a Darkseer against them is going to make the difficulty ramp up even higher, as they have to be able to coordinate well enough with the lag that they don't
Radiant team
group
ban.
up enough for the Darkseer to get that ultimate off. Midas Club will be able to pick up a Lifestealer here, indicating that it's probably going to be a Weaver in the support role. Unless they put him mid or something. I don't know. They pick up the life stealer there. It seems a little bit strange. I guess the Weaver and the Bat Rider are pretty good ways to get the life stealer around. And in the face of the gyrocopter, who, if the life stealer gets up to him, it's going to be really difficult for him to stay alive. Maybe he could get a nice swap out from the Vengeful Spirit. And that's really the only survival mechanism that we'll have right now. So, yeah, that'll bring us to the last couple of bans for the teams. Midas Club have a pretty good amount of physical damage right now, but their magic damage doesn't really seem to do so well, which is generally a good way to get rid of the gyrocopter.
Dire team ban.
But the Midas armor is definitely going to be something to worry about for Midas Club, especially with heroes as squishy as they have right now. I guess losing the supports isn't really all that big of a deal, but
10 seconds remaining.
if they pick up another hero that has a lot of difficulty trying to stay alive, then things could be not looking so great for them, especially considering the issues that they had in Game 1.
Dire team pick.
So the last ban out by Midas Club will be a Dragon Knight. Generally a pretty safe ban with the fifth one. Yes, this Viper was already banned away as well. Teams don't really want to get pushed in all that hard.
10 seconds.
And Dragon Knight is definitely one of those mids that is able to do that.
5 seconds remaining.
So
Reserve time.
we'll be in our last couple of picks here. We look at our bans. The Meepa was banned out by Midas Club. I think that's the second time that we saw that.
Remaining.
Seems that teams are really fond of banning that hero out in the fourth banning phase. Or at least in the second two bans.
Team pick.
OG will be the final pickup for Midas Club. And we'll do have the option of going with a little bit more Midas armor here if they want to.
10 seconds remaining.
Or they could get something else that maybe counters the OD a little bit more. But definitely a lot of heroes left in the pool for Wheel to go with. I really do like the TA in this kind of situation. OD doesn't do particularly well against it. Also, TA is really able to put a huge amount of damage onto a life stealer. I guess the Bat Rider isn't so great for her, but that's really the only damage over time that she would have to deal with. So as long as the Bat Rider would get neutralized, the TA would be able to get around and fights pretty well. And it will indeed be the TA for Wheel getting even more Midas armor, ready to just absolutely blow up the heroes from Midas Club, get some very early Roshans, and take these towers right off the map. So that will finish off the draft for game number 2. Midas Club must win this one if they want to have a chance at remaining in the event, but if Wheel win, they will move on to the next round to play up against Team Fire. Excuse me, so Wheel will see if they can close this one out in 2 and do themselves one better than Team Fire were able to do in the other lower bracket match. And like I said, we are getting to the end of this event. Only 4 more matches after this one. We have the upper bracket final, we have the lower bracket, we'll call it a semi, then we have the lower bracket final, and then we have the grand final, which right now is supposed to be happening on the 23rd. It's a best of 5 with no game advantage. So with that having to take place after the lower bracket final, seems like it would be a lot of Dota to try to play in one day, so I guess we'll have to see if that will remain true. But here we go into game number 2 between Wheel and Midas Club. Okay, it's got a nice little pair of pants there. Pretty cool pair of pants. You can see the gyrocopter from Wheel. So I should be moving pretty fast as he tries to get those stuns off. And again, we're going to see an aggressive tri-lane from Wheel. FNA will end up... FNA will end up going over to top. Bardo is around that area as well. He's hanging out near the Roshan pit. Midas Club might be splitting it up a little bit right now. Going with a dual lane setup, which, if it doesn't go well at top, is probably not going to go well at all. But Theo will end up going back over to the top lane, and most of Wheel have been scouted out here by the Dire Observer, and they're thinking about going out and trying to fight for the top rune. 2017 goes over to the Bat Rider. Does have to be careful about the napalm stacks as Theo gets over to the rune as well, so they will actually split the bounty runes to start it out. And here we go. Midas Club versus Wheel. OD currently with 3 iron branches. You can see if he's gonna... see if he's going to be a Bob Ross here. Make his happy little trees. But we do have 3 heroes around the bottom lane to deal with 2017 right now. This Oposa makes his way over to top. Alright, so we'll have to see how this one goes. Double Iron Shell already out in the lane, which will push it out pretty far. FNA looks like he wants to take a lot of damage from it for some reason. As Derp's pulling the creep wave over to the pool camp, making things a lot more difficult for Leposa underneath his own tower. Lots of pulls going on for Wheel, trying to be as efficient as possible on the top lane. And they're being really efficient with this too. They're getting the creep waves to meet inside the jungle, taking out the hard camp. They're getting a huge amount out of this aggressive tri-lane. It's actually ridiculous how little the Bat Rider is getting out of it. He does finally have a creep wave meeting in front of him. But at that point, Sparta's already up to level 2. Layla's already up to level 2. They're forcing him away from here. They want to try to get the stun off, but Bat Rider backs away too quickly. That's just a lot of control that Wheel had to start out here. And Leposa still only has a sticky napalm, not even up to level 2 just yet. Now he gets it finally, so he has a Firefly. They're starting to go for the sprint through the trees. 2017 trying to back people away from his bounty rune. Bardo being a little bit annoying towards him. In mid, OD slightly ahead of the TA. And there will be a rotation in from Derp, who is in Viz right now. Could go right onto the OD, who is getting his ass to prison up in 5 seconds. Ifrit going forward, that's going to be the crush. Ifrit needs to get some refraction damage out, but it's not going to be up for another 5 seconds. Suze is going to stay alive, but whoa, look at the range from Derp. Takes so much damage from the ass to prison, and the Fate Bolt is... oh, that actually ends up taking him down with the tower shot. Now Weaver comes in onto Ifrit, who will be able to use the refraction to get out of the danger there. The danger zone. Sooth does get back here. Essentially would place down Ifrit. He's still got the refraction going. Another refraction up in 3 seconds. They do not have enough damage to actually kill him there. And now Bardo in a lot of trouble. Layla is there for some damage. Derp keeps going in. Shikuchi does get him away. For now. As Ifrit stays in the lane. Has that bottle to get back up, and well, there's also going to be a D-ward going down the mid lane as well. So lots of action here. Suze keeps putting the damage out onto Ifrit, who keeps those refraction charges going. We just a race to clear out the creep waves in the lane right now. at bottom. 2017 getting harassed away by FNA, who was left here for a while, but now Derp comes in from the backside. The crush is going to get evaded by the rage, and now with the open wounds going, Derp's in a bit of trouble, trying to turn and fight, but Rubik's going to lift him back up. Derp with another crush right now will be able to get it off, but the Fade Bolt means that he's not going to get away for long. So there will be another kill at bottom with the Slaughter going down. Missiles being shot out on the Laposa. It's a level 1 missile at this point, so it's not going to do a whole lot. But it still is annoying for the Gyrocopter to be throwing those out all the time, much like the OD Astral imprisoning at mid. Ifrit a little bit low. And Layla comes in from the side. Ifrit trying to get enough mana for a refraction, and he wasn't quite able to. Could get it. No, it wasn't off cooldown before the Astral imprisonment ended. Also staying alive at top, just throwing out the Firefly to keep himself alive for now. He's moving pretty fast thanks to the Tranquil Boots. And FNA has been left alone at bottom as well. There will be a lot of heroes at top for now. 2017 joining the fray as well. Looking like they want to take an early tower here. They're spending a lot of resources for this though. Missile will come out from the Gyrocopter. Weaver will be forced away from the tower. Derp's coming in for the crush as well, but he just gets the creep wave, and his team is going to help him to push it out. He down very quickly. Gold going all over the place. And Wheel aiming to take the first tier 1 tower off the map at a pretty early time. Midas trying to do a similar thing at bottom, but push is going to go in a lot slower here. And that top tier 1 goes the way of Wheel, with the Gyrocopter immediately rotating to bottom. He's at level 5 right now. FNA will take the creep wave over to the side. So Gyrocopter will have to be happy about farming here, all on his own, hoping that he doesn't die, which would be an extremely bad thing for Wheel, because they really do need the Gyrocopter to get quite a bit of farm. He is at level 6 right now, so if there is some kind of a dive, he could always drop down a call down. Gyrocopter thinking about stepping up a little bit too much. He doesn't have vision of the jungle, have vision of 2 of the dire heroes, so he knows that there could be something coming in. Has to be very careful here, especially the way that FNA is being positioned. Gyrocopter will use the flat cannon to keep the creep wave out. So Wheel's rotation down to the bottom lane was also scouted out by the Dire Observer, which they do now deward. Good to take that away from Midas Club. And we've got Wheel maybe pushing in bottom as well. They've got 3 heroes ready to keep this pushed out. Take it down very quickly with the rock barrage and the flat cannon drop down on it. Perhaps the Gyrocopter would start to get a little bit low on mana. They might decide to go a little bit further onto Theo. He took the creep wave away from them. Alright, Theo's getting up again. Layla goes forward, ready with the stun. He starts to get on his horse, but his horse is not going to go fast enough. Call down dropped. FNA will be TPing in the middle of it. Takes a lot of... It's actually very slow as a result of that. Derp with... They've got 4 stacks of the napalm on them, slowed down quite a bit. They might just sack the Slaughter again because there's not so much they can do about it. That's 5 stacks of napalm onto the Gyrocopter, and they want to go on him as well. Derp still getting away, but there really wasn't a chance there at all. As Laposa also finds the kill onto the Gyrocopter. No help there at all from the rest of the team. Layla? He's right next to Suze, but Suze is going for the invis rune and immediately pops it. Gets 1 attack off before the fade time ends, and that's going to be the Astral in prison helping him out. And the shrine is not available, but OD is going to get hit by the crush. He tries to TP away, and he is... Whoa! That's a bash from Derp Derp. He just presses the button and bashes him. Very lucky there. And also on the bottom lane, forcing out Midas away from the tower. Theo is ready. The Derp Derp's coming in from the side. Infest into Bardo. There will be the missile chasing him down, but he's way too fast with the Shikuchi. Mean that Wheel cannot find the kill there, but they might be able to get the tier 1 as both these heroes are kind of low. Bardo maybe coming in from the side. Derp Derp ready to just throw out a crush. He will get lifted up with the Iron Shell still on him. Tier 1 will still belong, or should still belong to Wheel. Midas coming in from the side now. Tower's not going to be in deny range. Maybe a little bit early with the fortification. Maybe they just really like their tier 1 tower. But with that, it should be easy for Wheel to go back in again with the full creep wave this time. Here to go in on the tower. Derp Derp moving in with the Iron Shell. They take these down very quickly. And Wheel? No deny. Gyrocopter takes care of that one. Maybe they decide to play on the mid lane. They slow down Suze a lot. The cooldown will be there as well. Suze has the Astral Imprisonment. He puts it onto the Gyrocopter instead of someone else. Here comes a stun. He's going to pay for not using that Astral Imprisonment on himself. Bardo gets around the fight. Lots of Scarabs are out onto Wheel. And if it takes a lot of damage onto the Refraction Shell. Opposed to just trying to put out the napalm stacks for a while. Got some pretty good gold. Should be a Blink Dagger pretty soon for him. Few minutes left on that shrine. We will get back to hopefully farming. Gyrocopter going for his old Morbid Mask into Aghanim Scepter build. So that you can just farm a little bit better, do quite a bit more damage. They've been pushing pretty much early. Wheel are taking advantage of their pushing power a little bit better this time around. Oh, they were just missing the word gold there. I wish I could buy items. I can take their items away though, don't worry. So right now where we are at net worth, it's about 3,000 in favor of Wheel. XP is about even, because we've seen some more pushing from Wheel than Midas Club. Pretty big wave at bottom. 2017 is there to stop it and possibly get the deny off, as a catapult is quite a work there. We're close to winning in the wings. He's got his Blink Dagger up, and there are a lot of heroes going over to bottom. He got the Infest on the Bardo. This could be Derp Derp in a lot of trouble. Or the Darkseer. The Derp Derp gets a nice crush out onto 3. Darkseer's still in trouble. He has his vacuum, but he's not ever going to get the chance to be able to use it. Bardo goes into the trees, tries to TP away, and he does manage to get out. There's so many heroes at bottom. Maybe if we can try to push in midst them. He's a 900 gold away from his Desolator, so some more big damage coming in from him soon. Looking at the Lifestealer, he's on his way to an Armlet. It seems to be a bit slower of a build-up for him. But it's still farming pretty well at mid. It's the only tier 1 tower that hasn't been taken yet. Meanwhile, Vengeful Spirit getting very deep at top as a support. Worston farm. And Gyrocopter's been farming up inside the jungle for a while. Hasn't really been taking part on the lanes too much at all. So Wheel right now are farming pretty well. And They are getting a bit more of an advantage over Midas Club, and it's also better for them in the early game this time around. They didn't give up their lanes as much as they did in game 1, so they're looking in much better shape when it comes to the mid-game fights. As if that were a thing, because Wheel, they absolutely dominated those fights in game number 1. FNA possibly in some trouble in the top lane. Here comes the magic missile. He's not going to be able to get the rage off before it happens, and the damage is huge from Ifrit. He doesn't even have his Desolator yet. It's being delivered to him right now. Got 3 heroes for Midas Club at mid, but the Leicester has already been killed off, dead for 20 seconds. KOD's also going to stop this push in the mid lane. Be more than enough to make sure that these heroes get away. Now Gyrocopter will be lasso taken out underneath the Firefly. Crush comes in. Derp will be able to go in for some more damage, and the Sanity Eclipse gets dropped down. They're trying to kill off Suze. Double kill for Laposa though, as they just stand in the middle of the Firefly. Gyrocopter in pretty low. Templar Assassin was not a part of that at all. Probably could have been able to do something with the Desolator damage, but her TP was unfortunately on cooldown. FNA still farming by himself, wanting a Maelstrom. Interesting build from him. He just wants to take these heroes down a little bit faster, especially since his farm is slightly slower. Gyrocopter getting closer and closer to that Aghanim Scepter, where we'll probably see Wheel start to push in a lot more. As soon as they got that item in game 1, it was just balls to the wall. And it didn't really stop at all either. He took down all the tier 2s. Now at mid, we've got a Lifesteal inside of an Ancient Black Dragon. And the Dragon is going to chase down 2017 for a little bit. Meanwhile, Wheel did take Roshan as soon as TA got the Desolator, so that's a Desolator and an Aegis on her. Ifrit sees the Ancient Black Dragon at mid, doing a huge amount of damage with the Desolator to it while it drops down its fire in the mid lane. She will keep doing some damage so that it gets even more afraid to hang out at mid. Throw out another bunch of fire to Ifrit, who will get most of the refraction charges taken off of her. FNA gets out of that dragon. Thinks about going for a D ward, but Barda will chase him down. Laposa ready to go in with the blink lasso. He goes for the blink but can't find the ult. As Ifrit wants to keep pushing this in. Missile will come through, and it will be killed by Weaver. Pretty easy for him to kill those off. Ifrit with the refraction trying to go for the fortified tower, which obviously not a great idea for him. We'll see if they go in after this creep wave. There are some other lanes starting to get pushed in as well. We have another Ancient Black Dragon for the Lifestealer. Most of these heroes showing up on mid, and the Batrider always looming for... Oh no, now Ifrit's in a lot of trouble. He's in the middle of the Firefly, lots of damage out onto him. He has the Melt Strike, but that's not really going to help him too much as he is right underneath the Sentry Ward. That's going to be the Aegis being popped. We'll need to fight around the Shrine. That's a magic missile going out on Templar Assassin, stolen away by the Rubik. Ifrit cannot really do all that much right now. They just fight near the Shrine and try to repel Midas Club. But the Aegis does go their way. Wheel. You see that Ancient Black Dragon going all around, and they're not really in a condition to be able to fight it right now. You need Templar Assassin to have a little bit more, and she should be able to blink dagger soon. Slider nearly at his blink dagger as well, so a couple of blink daggers coming out soon for Wheel. And it will be an Aghanim Scepter soon from Gyrocopter as well. So lots of big items getting picked up pretty soon for Midas. And Batrider should have his 4 staff soon as well. That Dirt possibly in some trouble at bottom. He will get Astral imprisoned, and that might be more than enough damage to kill him. Yeah, it will. And as soon as that Astral imprisonment is over, Zeus just drops it down for Slardar. Doesn't really care that it's only a support. We do know that it's down now. But Slardar already had his his Blink Dagger, and that tier 1 tower will be taken by Wheel. Maybe FNA comes in for their deny. TPN is going to save it for now, and they'll probably just try to deny it after that. Still, the tier 1 tower will fall. But Wheel, I would expect to see a smoke from them pretty soon, especially with all these big items being picked up. I think as soon as the Gyrocopter could pick up the Aghanim Scepter right now. I think as soon as he gets that, we're going to see a smoke from Wheel. And they're already pinging out the Templar Assassin. Her TP's up in 20 seconds. She'll go into the trees to hide away from Midas Club. And she has 10 seconds left on that TP. She is meld striked right now, so it's very unlikely that they find her. Meanwhile at mid, 2017, trying to get rid of this creep wave. Yes, Templar Assassin gets back over towards the mid lane. Smoke will get used. Templar Assassin still trying to farm. Effort ready to go with the rest of his team. They will see Laposa over there. Just a little bit of him. He keeps blinking in and out of view. The Oyster gets out. Midas Club having to be very careful right now, but they might not be being careful enough. Zeus, he's going to use the Astral Imprisonment, and that's a lot of trouble. There's the Crush call down as well. Midas Club, they will lose their OD. And perhaps a tier 2 tower bottom soon, because Wheel seem pretty confident after that last fight, and there was a TP away as well. So they know that there can't really be a too big of a reaction to this tier 2 tower. Fortification will get used, but I think that's just a last-ditch effort to try to save it. Scarabs come through as well. Decides not to farm those. They could go for some other lanes too. Mid tier 1 getting low. Definitely will find an Invis rune for himself. I don't think he's going to be too aggressive with it though. And Gyrocopter with his Aghanim Scepter build up. He is going to be attacking pretty quickly right now, and he seems to be going into a bit of a dangerous place. He needs the rest of his team to show up. Spider is here to help out. The Gyrocopter pushes in on the mid lane. Let's see if anybody's here to stop him. He does have a 4-staff up in 5 seconds, but he won't go for the Astral Prison. He always needs that to be able to keep himself alive, and here come the rest of Wheel. The homing missile, ready to chase down Zeus. He will evade it with the Astral Imprison, but Gyrocopter already going to work onto a tower. And the rest of Wheel is backing him up. Desolator in from TA. Huge damage by her. And that tower does not live for very long. Rubik's able to steal a Crush, and we've got TA being brought back into the fight. That should be her dying in the middle of the firefight, but the call down is going to be blocking most of this out as well. 4-staff, OD trying to stay alive. He's underneath the corrosive haze, but Wheel can't really go in that far, especially with the Firefly still doing so much. Here comes Derp. Beautiful Crush on the 2. Takes a lot of damage from the Arcane Orb, but he's already managed to find the kill. And the swap back on the Bat Rider as well. He'll be able to find that kill. Gyrocopter maybe trying to turn around the FNA. He's got a huge amount of damage. The Shrine will get popped. Both of the Shrines around the mid lane. And Wheel don't want to go in too far, so they'll decide to go in and push the top lane, because that's the one that still has the tier 2 tower. So Wheel will start to congregate around the top lane. They need their TA for this one, and she probably needs a BKB soon, but she's going to get her little crits instead. Same with the Gyrocopter. They really like their crits. They eat crits for breakfast. Seems like they like them too. Crits are pretty well known to be a balanced part, or just a part of a balanced build here. So they're still hitting that Scarab while the Black Cannon's going out. Gyrocopter doing a huge amount of damage right now. And he's taking this tower down so quickly. Batrider to come around the side with the lasso, and he'll go in onto the Gyrocopter. Swap is available. Layla will go in as soon as that tower is dead. Here's the call down and the back heave on the 3. Layla in the middle of everything will be the one to die. If we get back into the rest of the fight, Gyrocopter still trying to back out. Time lapse by the Weaver. Look at the huge side blaze from TA. That wall will zone out the rest of Midas Club as Derp wants to go forward with the blink and the crush. They're going to use the dust, and he gets the crush out into Bardo. Huge amount of Midas armor, and they absolutely blow up the Weaver. Fortunately, the Sworder will die for it. And with that, we should probably see Wheel going for the shrines now. Should be able to get them pretty easily, especially with the Desolator damage there. Roshan is not going to be up for about another minute, so it should actually be some pretty good timing for Wheel as long as they can keep control around the map area. So we'll take one shrine off the map. Our net worth is about 11,000 at this point. XP is 6,000 for Wheel. And if we look at their items for Midas Club, they're not really all that much right now. Blaze2 are very desperately trying to get to an AC because of all the Midas armor that's coming through, but that's only going to help very marginally against what Wheel have. So right now, you've got Midas Club pretty far behind, as we will be waiting on the high ground here for anybody that dares to come over near the rune spot. Rubik is pushing up a little bit far, and they'll go over. Don't want to get caught on the high ground, and Theo goes to the low. He's going to see Ifrit there, but Ifrit decides not to go in. But from the other side of the fight, though, Sparta will be caught out. Here comes Ifrit into it. He's going to get stunned. Look at the huge damage on Theo. Nearly taken out in one hit. Bardo forced the time lapse out of it. Call down is going to be doing so much. They just care about the bugs right now, trying to farm those up in the middle of a team fight. FNA taken out by so much, and there will be a rocket trying to chase him down. The crush comes through. Gyrocopter finds another one, and that homing missile is going to be relentless. FNA trying to get away from it. He'll use the rage, but he might have used it a little bit too early. He'll have to arm with toggle up. Whoa! What? He must not have seen it. He had to have not seen that. There's no way. Oh, well, I guess lag is still a really big issue for Midas Club. Last year, not able to get the armlet toggle off in time. Maybe he knew that there was a missile tracking him down, but used the rage way too early. Didn't really know when it would be coming, and then I guess forgot to armlet toggle because he couldn't see it. And up to the high ground we'll go. And there is a tier 1 getting taken by Midas Club, and a couple of napalm charges starting to get set out, but that missile is going to zone Leposa away from this one, as Theo is going to get absolutely wrecked by the Templar Assassin. Crush comes out on the Bardo. He'll time-lapse away. The shrine's already been popped. He's trying to keep himself alive. Bardo will go back in. Leo possibly in some trouble. That's maybe the lasso. And he can't swap anyone out of this one, so we will just lose one for free. But they've already managed to take down the melee racks, and they will all get away from this one. Nasu's still looking for the Astro in prison, and Wheel are still on their way back from this one. Darkseer tries to TP out, but it's actually still pretty tanky. Eventually dies to the OD, but was, or I guess the Rubik, but most of the damage was from OD. It's a lot of gold going to Midas Club, but I still don't really see it making too much of a difference. Just trying to elongate the game. But Roshan's available, so it's not like there's nothing that Wheel can do at this point. Midas will push in on the mid lane. That tower will get fortified for now, as Batrider comes in, and he'll use the fire the Flame Break rather. Ifrit into the pit. They'll put down the Sentry Ward and it will be able to see Ifrit there. Now he's in a lot of trouble. Ifrit getting stunned a little bit. FNA, he's taking damage through Roshan. Ifrit is just in a terrible position right now. Here comes the call down. They need to, oh, Sandy is going to clean up the TA. Gyrocopter in the middle of the pit. Derp with some big damage. Here comes some more. Buyback is available on Tia, but she's not coming back into this one just yet. FNA on the backside. He's been zoned out, and he's actually going to armor toggle at completely the wrong time. Gyrocopter trying to live against the Weaver. He needs to get some kind of damage going. He's just so tanky with the Reaver. He'll get some help from 2017 with the regen as well, and he needs to get to the shrine. He needs some help to get there as well. Can they take him down? Eventually they do. They're still taking so much damage there. Ifrit, he's gonna find Suze, and Layla manages to find a kill on his own. Now Suze is possibly gonna get caught out. Ifrit goes for a blink forward. He's not going to be able to catch the OD though. And Loposa is left all on his lonesome to try to defend the Roshan, and Layla's ready on the outside of the pit as well. He could go for the swap. He's gonna just get some vision on the high ground, and well, Batrider pops the Ghost Scepter, vacuum over to the side. That's the wall as well. They need some more control here as OD puts himself into the Astral in prison. So yeah, that's going to be the Aegis going to the Templar Assassin. Gyrocopter will eventually respawn, and at that point we're probably going to see Wheel pushing for the base. So Midas, they are just trying to find a way to survive this one right now. They are down by a little bit less than 15,000. It went down a little bit. 17. He's going to see OD stepping up to the lane, and he's got the Blink Dagger available. Knows that the Astral Prison is gone as well. Layla's trying to make his way up there, and he's got a ton of damage to output here. No vision at all for the OD. Almost thinking that there was with the way that he backed away. Maybe we're gonna see more of a concerted push from Wheel soon, though. Orchid Malevolence now nearly picked up for Templar Assassin. Just needs a little bit more until she can get it. As Midas just very desperately try to get a few items. It's gonna be an E-Blade build-up even for the Batrider as he goes forward. Can always blink away. No vision here for the Radiant, and there's no vision there for the Dire. So now they can really go on to each other in that circumstance. But we are now walking right over the Dire Observers, so Midas are pretty sure about what's going to be coming right now. But the problem is that they might not really be able to stop it at all. Assassin very far away from the rest of the team as they just work through the creep wave. Big crits and a satanic build up for Gyrocopter. He had a huge amount of gold, and he's going to put out another missile. Batrider is looking for the blink last, so he's coming around the side here. Could get it onto Layla. She's just kind of sitting up there on the high ground. Derp ready to go forward, and Layla had an idea about it. She is maybe dragged into the base, but she still has the Aegis and the Bloodthorn. They're going to pop it very quickly. Backing him out on the 2 as FNA will walk out. Hold drop down, force him away from Ifrit, and there's a stun out onto the Weaver, and Wheel don't really feel like staying there all that much right now. They'll use the Bloodthorn on the OD, but it doesn't really do all that much. Especially with Wheel not really wanting to initiate there, but they know that Lasso's down, and the only thing they really have to worry about is going to be the Sanity's Eclipse. Artis seems to be ready to go in here. Wheel just looking for that push, and the other lanes are not really too favorable for them right now, so I guess they're kind of stuck on this one until things go really wrong. They really do need some BKBs. Just kind of getting wrecked by the magic damage of Midas right now. Suze is going to be forced away thanks to his Hurricane Bike. We have some mass chaos inside the Dire base. Rubik immediately blown up. Bartle will time lapse back in towards the Radiant side as the swap goes out in Loposa. He'll use the Ghost Scepter. Where's the magic damage? Lots of magic damage is there. 2017 nearly cut off, but the OT is doing barely anything to him. Also, the Bloodthorn goes out, and they easily take care of him. 2017 gets over with a blink to the other side of the cliff there, and they will be able to find their second set of racks. Bottom lane is pushing in so hard. Wheel might be able to go even further and take the tier 3 in the mid lane. They're just gonna go up there with the gyrocopter Ifrit pulling out the creep wave. And a huge amount of gold to Wheel. The next fight for Midas is probably going to be the last one. They don't really have a huge amount of buybacks, and OD is still dead for 60 seconds. Derp going forward, looking for the crush, but he's not going to be able to find it. Now he's going to be lapsed back in the base. Here comes the life steer, but a beautiful swap out by Layla is going to keep Derp alive for now. The call down will be dropped, and Derp wants to get a crush, but he was a little bit too greedy for it. Now Gyrocopter possibly surrounded by a lot. He's got the Satanic available. Swap back in by the Rubik. He's going to get all that health back with the Satanic, though, and he's going ham right next to FNA. He needs to get out clearly. He will try to TP away. Ifrit gets the kill on the Bardo. And that will be the GG. Midas will call it as we'll take it in 2 games over the Brazilian side. And I just went over the teams and I realized that there are now no more South American teams remaining in the event.